Wilder Show podcast. I'm Scott. That's Lauren.
Hello.
How are you today, Lauren?
I'm well. How are you?
I am fastidious today.
Why?
I don't know.
What makes you say that?
You can always tell people that are fastidious. You can tell.
I would not say you're fastidious, though.
It depends on the meaning of the word fastidious. Instagram, find us there, Wilder Show Pod, and you'll like it, and we really appreciate that. If you want to send us email, just email to podcast@wildershow.com. The Wilder Show podcast drops Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 a.m. Central Time or before on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, also on the TikTok now and again. Wherever you get your podcast, would you engage us there? Leave comments there. We'll do a little mailbag in a second.
Oh, sweet.
I'm getting sort of chastised, and I love it. It's like the old days. I feel like people feel like they know me well to chastise me.
Why do you like it when people who listen chastise you, but you don't like it when I chastise you?
Wherever you get your podcasts, like, rate, follow, subscribe.
I could do so much more if I thought you liked it.
And share. No, I think you do just enough.
A fair amount?
Yeah.
Okay.
The president is in China, meeting with Xi. That's a guy. Meeting with Xi yesterday and heading back to the States. Got a comment from a recent episode I mentioned of our podcast, and I want to respond to it, and I'll do that. I wrote a response, but I am character limited. Wait, not my character.
It's a different kind of character.
Yeah, but the characters that I can type in a response. So I'm going to read it to be fair and also then respond to it. I'll do that in a second. The president is in China. A little story time about China and North Korea. You know, North Korea sometimes threatens the United States. Back in the George W. Bush day, a lot of stuff. I remember on a July 4th, there were missiles being tested on July 4th. Obviously, July 4th means nothing to them, and that was Kim Jong-il at the time, I believe. But it obviously means a lot to us. And so it was not coincidental, we didn't think, that they were testing these weapons or delivery systems on July 4th. And they sometimes threaten Japan, sometimes threaten South Korea, missile tests, things like that. China says to us at those times, you'll recall, we can help with that. We can help with that. If North Korea is doing stuff that, bothers you guys, we can help with that. See, China provides 80% of North Korea's electricity. 80%. So North Korea really doesn't do anything without China's knowledge or permission or maybe even direction. So think of it like North Korea is the pit bull.
Yeah.
And China's holding the leash. So if you're being threatened by the dog, well, we need the person holding the leash to put pressure on North Korea. And China will be glad to do that. But they have some things they want to talk about. Maybe trade. Maybe we want to talk about trade. We'll get to North Korea in a second, China would say. But let's talk about trade. So none of those things come without, strings being attached.
Sure.
Now to a little mailbag. So I won't name the person. It doesn't really matter. Scott, I am by no means a MAGA, but I wish you would celebrate what's good in America. I'm saddened that you continuously prop up Iran and China, the land of slavery. We'll get to back that in a second. I don't remember doing that. You know well what propaganda is. We can get back to that in a second, too. Lots of people use propaganda. And continuing, it is obvious that these governments run the media. You smuggled Bibles into China. Who do you think is funding the discord in America, in addition to Soros? It's a proven fact. Please look upward and not be so critical. I'm not a fan of this war, but we are a great country. Okay, response will involve a little chess and checkers. And again, I did respond. First of all, thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting. Certainly, it's easy to get in a rabbit hole of negativity. I never want to do that. I don't want to inspire that in other people either. But sometimes, and then I think I ran out of characters and said, I'll tell you more on the podcast. So a little chess and checkers. What we're doing and why we're there. Remember that the president postponed his trip to China because of the war and put the trip off for 6 weeks, believing that the war that was going to be, 4 to 6 weeks would be over. But what if it isn't? Is that bad? What are we going to talk to China about? Well, the things we need to talk to China about: AI, chips, rare earth minerals, tariffs, Taiwan. See, when we go in strong, we're talking about those things, the things that are important to us when we go in strong. And we're doing that from a position of strength. But what if the war isn't over? Can we go in really to talk about the same things, or is it different? It is different. What are we now being forced to talk to China about? The war, a major topic. China will say, maybe we can help with that. So among the things the president said, he said, we must make it work, meaning the relationship between the United States and China. We must make it work and never mess it up. Early in the summit, she warned that, quote, Taiwan is the most important issue in U.S.-China relations, and it could create a, this is quoting, very dangerous situation if mishandled. Okay, let's go back to now that we have the war and China says maybe we can help with that. Put a pin in that for a second. Let's say you have a business. Let's say you have a candle shop and you sell candles to, regular people. They come in, they need one bergamot and lime or whatever.
That's a good example.
Sandalwood and grapefruit or something. They need to buy candles. And people come in, they buy one candle or two, and they come in every, 90 days or whatever. You have a bunch of customers, but then maybe you rank your customers. You probably rank them on how much they buy, right? Mm-hmm. Who is your favorite customer? Who is the best customer? What if one of your customers buys like just a ton of your products? Like they own, I don't know, a hotel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they buy just tons and tons.
You're going to treat them really well.
Yeah, you would. There's nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequals. Mm-hmm. Grandma that buys that bergamot and lime every 90 days is not equal, as far as a business standpoint, to the person or the company or the entity that buys 80% of your product. So remember that Iran provides 4% of the world's oil. 20% of the world's oil goes through the Strait of Hormuz, which now is controlled right now by Iran. Who is the largest purchaser of Iran's oil? Or in our example, who buys 80% of Iran's candles? China. China buys 80% of their candles. Who is their best customer? Their best customer is China. So all that to say, China has leverage over Iran. Right now, China is helping Russia with the war against Ukraine. Right now, Russia and China are helping Iran in their war against the United States and Israel. So I want to be clear, China is our enemy. Russia is our enemy. America is good. Israel right now has joined forces with the president, and much is being done over there, largely, arguably, that benefits Israel more immediately than it does the United States. But we're there. But America good, Russia bad, China bad, North Korea bad, in case there's any confusion. But you can see how it's much more like chess than checkers. Because if we were going in peace through strength, not peace through threats, not peace through empty threats, peace through strength. And when you have the never-ending ceasefire, when you have the controlling of the Strait of Hormuz, when I'm talking about what's going on right now in that part of the world, when I'm talking about the expending of our munitions, defensive and offensive weapons, not to mention blood of U.S. service people, I'm nervous about that because right now everybody's obsessed on the Strait of Hormuz. There is another strait that we ought to be spending time thinking about. It's the Strait of Taiwan. Mm. So that really is the heart of my criticism. If there is criticism about what's going on right now, it is not that, Iran is a good guy. They're horrible. They've wanted to kill us for a long, long time through their proxies and the country, the radical part of the country itself. But if we are one place, we are not somewhere else. If we're obsessed with the next thing, and the next thing is going to be Cuba, and more on that in a second, I'm just telling you, there's going to come a time when Taiwan is going to need us to stand up for them because they are a democracy. Now, the president, while the president might not stand up for Taiwan against China because Taiwan is a democracy, he should stand up for Taiwan because they provide 90% of the world's chips, that if you have anything that blinks or beeps, it uses chips, and we get them from Taiwan. Making sure that those chips are being manufactured by and under the control of a democracy and not under the control of China is really, really important. So what China is saying to the United States is, we can help you with Iran. Now remember, the president said, we don't need anybody's help. we don't need Europe's help. And then he says, hey, leave it to Europe. They need to come help. Then he says, we don't need China. The conversations, though, have been about how China can help. The president says many times they want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. They never want to make a deal. The president says they've agreed to all of our terms. They agreed to none of our terms, talking about Iran. The president says that China has committed to not providing any weaponry to Iran. Well, I mean, technically, maybe that's true. But if they provide it to a proxy and the proxy provides it to Iran, haven't they basically provided it to Iran? Of course they have. So that's really where we're standing right now. So all this is, you can see no character limits here on the response. But that is a longer explanation. Yeah, we're a great country. Yeah, we're the best country ever. Let me say it the way some people would really. We used to be a dead country. Now we're the hottest country in the world. I can't believe I just said that. So America good, Russia bad, Iran bad, China bad. President Trump, I think it was Sunday night, in a period of 3 hours, President Trump posted 55 social media posts.
55 in 3 hours?
55 in 3 hours. And a bunch of these are happening in the overnight. You know who Natalie Harp is?
I do not.
Well, Natalie Harp, well, you would know her work.
Huh.
Natalie Harp is the one who does an awful lot of the president's social media engagement.
You mean she composes?
She does.
Really?
Yeah. Now, some combination of his own, and then some of the direct late night postings are his, but sometimes they're by his executive assistant, Natalie Harp. What she does every day is she prints out drafts for the president to approve.
Drafts of posts.
Drafts of posts or content that he has already dictated to her. But some posts are directed by staff or are what's called batch posted, including reshares from other users. Think about the thing with the Obamas as apes. He didn't come up with that. She didn't come up with that. Just reposted
Grabbed
that.
it and reposted it. Yeah.
And the same thing with the one with President Trump as Jesus. So her role, she is executive assistant to the president. Harp works just outside the Oval Office, manages the day-to-day output, social media output.
And she's also the executive assistant? Seems like a lot of work.
While Trump, as of this year, still personally posts on Truth Social, a bunch of the posts are published by staff, including those that are scheduled or catch-up posts based on material he's already approved.
Okay, so what it looks like, though, is that she might be responsible for the late night posts. Is that what you're seeing too? Or is it still some mix of?
Well, first of all, there are so many late night posts that there's no way to say she did all of them. But I believe I remember that the Jesus one, and not just late night, some of the daytime ones too, is what she or staff, including others, have posted. But yeah, she does a lot of the postings.
But he still signs off on everything?
Yes.
Okay.
The feed frequently features reposts of media, AI-generated memes, and retruths.
Can't get enough of those AI-generated memes.
Yeah, I know. Retruths of supporters and some controversy arised from staff-posted materials. Anyway.
What did you just said America's never been hotter? So I looked up Natalie Harp, and what I see is White House Communications Director Stephen Chung.
Okay.
In a statement, according to the Wall Street Journal, said that Truth Social has never been hotter.
Yeah. Of course, everything has never been the likes of which no one has ever seen before. Let me remind everybody, America good, Iran bad,
right? China
bad, Russia bad. QR codes. You know what QR stands for?
I don't. I know what a QR code is, but I don't know.
Quick response.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. Georgia elections in Georgia, they have banned the use of QR codes.
Why?
This is a really interesting thing. Now, let me say at the beginning, and I'll say it again at the end, that this has not been proved that it happened. But let's walk through it. Here's the problem. When you have voted, what are the different ways over the years that you have voted? You have voted with Chads, where you punch things out.
Right.
You have voted, what are the different ways?
Touch screen.
Okay.
I voted with a Sharpie, just marked off a ballot. There are probably ways that I voted, decades ago that I'm not even remembering. I think I've had. Well, I mentioned the touch screen, but I've also done something with a screen similar to that, but you had a little pen that you had to use.
It.
Yeah.
Well, the in the case of Georgia, and this was the whole Dominion voting machines. In the case of Georgia, the Dominion system, you actually vote on the screen, which I think many of us have done. You touch the screen. And at the very end, your whole ballot is then spit out as a paper for you to review. Did you really vote for these people? So I voted for them. So everything that I touched shows up on the ballot that, yes, in fact, that is how I'm voting. That makes sense?
Yeah.
But then you take that and you feed it into a machine.
Yeah.
And the machine counts the vote. So far, so good, right?
Right.
Well, maybe not. The machine doesn't actually read your ballot. The dots that you filled out that you review is not what the machine counts.
What is the machine doing?
There's also a QR code that is all the information from your ballot.
So it creates somewhere in that process, everything that I've put on that ballot is turned into a QR code, and that's what the machine reads.
Now, you can see that there's no problem with that. The machine, that's just a quick response.
Yeah.
You take all the different things, and you put it in a QR code, and then the QR code is read. But how do you know?
Well, I mean, you said there's no problem with that. I guess there's no problem with that.
Well, that's the thing. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know that QR code that has been generated actually goes with exactly what it is spit out. And so Georgia has banned it. The computer system spits out the record of the vote on paper in human readable text as is required by law. But the system relies on the translation into the machine-readable data format QR code to tabulate the official tally.
Okay.
So
you think that'll spread?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. If I look at a ballot, I don't just. It's like if let's say you go to get a tattoo and you tell the guy what you want the tattoo to say, but you want it to be in Chinese.
Yeah.
If you don't have somebody there with you. You may want to say, I love my mother, and what may kick out is Mao is still alive.
I like that. We've seen stories of somebody choosing Chinese characters that somebody at the shop tells them, oh, this means patience, and this means this, and this means that. And then you meet someone who actually knows what it says on your arm, and it's not really exactly, it's not what you wanted at all.
So anyway, I think it'll spread. I think they're not going to do it. They'll find a way.
Yeah.
I don't really mind the Chads. I don't care about that. A final thing before we get to scattershoot. Cuba, just get ready. You know that we have an embargo in place against Cuba. And amazingly, our energy embargo against Cuba has resulted in a fuel shortage in Cuba. Isn't that weird? We don't allow energy to go to Cuba, and over time, they run out of fuel. They're running out of fuel. You'll see on the news. Maybe you saw last night. Maybe you saw it today. I mean, riots in the street there in Havana. In fact, they're without electricity, sometimes 21 to 22 hours a day.
That's crazy.
Blackouts going on right now. Weather is about to heat up in Cuba. So protests and marches in the street of Havana. You can look for news about the unrest and the people that are wanting change. Does this sound familiar at all? That will be the impetus, just like what happened in January in Iran. Then we're about to see, I think, the same thing in Cuba. Now, to review, China, bad. Russia, bad. America, good. Iran, bad. Oh, it's time for scattershoot.
Let's go.
Wilder Show Scattershoot. If you've not given us a thumbs up yet, or like, rate, follow, subscribe, share, you can do it right now. And we appreciate that. And when you comment, I mean, good or bad, I don't care. And we didn't hear from Japan or Vietnam or Brazil. Brazil is in the top 5 now. And España is still in the top 5. So the United States is some order. The United States, Japan, Vietnam, Brazil, España in the top 5. Anyway, tell us where you're listening from. Give us thoughts. 6 words or more is what they say. Will help with the algorithm. So you do the same word 7 times.
You don't have to be creative.
No, you don't.
We appreciate it when you are, though.
Yeah. Be critical, creative, fun, disparaging. It doesn't matter. We love it all.
Mm-hmm. You still playing Wordle?
I don't play it like I used to.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I think I stopped playing it a little bit when they changed how they set it up. There's a person now, I think. Something changed when the person got out of it. When the guy that made it up for his girlfriend.
When he sold it to New York Times?
They changed.
It changed? You're such a purist.
I know. The rules did not change.
Well, so what changed then?
I don't know. It's like difference between cane sugar and high fructose corn syrup.
No, it's not. I think you just got bored.
No, bored. It's a fun game.
It is a fun game.
I haven't done it in a while. It's still my thing. I still could get in there and do it. You do it every day?
I don't do it every day. Yeah. Some days just get too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. I'm not. I still like it. I still like to play. It's gonna be a game show now.
What do you mean game show?
It's going to be on television.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's going to be hosted by Savannah Guthrie, who is herself a devoted Wordle player. She's going to be the host. This was announced earlier this week by Jimmy Fallon, who is producing the show.
Really?
Jimmy Fallon, who I'm sure I'm not the first one to say this, kind of reminds me, he's like the human equivalent of a golden retriever. He is the most earnest, like he'd run up to you and he would put his paws up on your chest if his dad wasn't there to say down, just back, just personal space, just a little personal space. But he's really excited about it. Says he's been developing Wordle as a game show for the past 2.5 years with the New York Times, and it will now be a game show with Savannah Guthrie. And they actually, it went into production right around the time that her mother disappeared. Wow. And they put everything on pause. So part of the announcement was her talking about how grateful she was for that. But now I don't know when it will, when we'll actually see it on television, but I would guess it's not going to be too long if they're already in production.
Yeah, summertime. I mean, summertime is all the game stuff, all the game shows and all the redos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Celebrity Jeopardy and all that.
Yeah.
I think that it's really interesting that Jimmy Fallon and obviously it's on NBC, I guess, right? So that talk
NBC and Peacock.
Yeah,
probably.
but who else is going to have Savannah Guthrie on their show on ABC or CBS to talk about this thing that is brand new that a lot of people don't want to know about? Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because she not have permission to be on those other places, and they don't really want her because they got their own things they're developing. It's just more promotional stuff.
This was Jimmy Fallon announcing it on the Today Show. And one thing he said was, we're looking for a host, and we're trying to figure out who it should be. It should be somebody who looks like they really love Wordle. And I wondered how would you be somebody who looks like you really love Wordle? Although, have you ever seen? There was, I'm sure a lot of people do this, but there was a young teacher who was playing Wordle every day on the overhead projector in her classroom with her third graders.
That's funny.
So much fun watching these kids yell out their guesses, and they'd watch the letters turn to green, and they'd be cheering and cheering. And if the last one wasn't right, they'd all be crestfallen, and it was very cute to watch it. So maybe that's what the if you've got a crowd of people, and you're guessing,
I mean, I'll watch.
A bunch of people will be cheering you on as you make your guess. It might be fun.
I wonder though if it would be smart if these talk show hosts that are doing a skill, have a career, doing something that appears to be maybe over time going away. The late night talk shows. It's smart to say, I'm going to get into the producing thing.
Yeah.
People like game shows.
Yeah.
I mean, in the world of, not saying for this, but in the world of idiocracy, people love game shows, right? Just game shows. $10,000 pyramid, whatever, right? All the things, the Wheel of Torture. Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune. And you spin the wheel. So maybe I'll be interested to see if other talk show hosts, of course, the other Jimmy, the mean one,
Kimmel.
He did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire a long time ago, right?
Wait, did he do? He did Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. Think about it while I'm talking, because I think he was a host for a long time. I think he was, because that's an ABC property, and he's ABC. And after Regis Philbin stopped, I thought it was Jimmy, the other one, the mean one. I thought it was Jimmy Kimmel that did that anyway. But that, even if he was the host, that doesn't mean he was a producer or a developer or whatever, a creator. But in the world of the olden times, you have Merv Griffin, and was in charge as the creator.
Yeah, you're right.
And was it Kimmel?
Yeah, it was.
For a long time.
It was Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I think he did it for a few years. I mean, I don't know, but my point is not so much the hosting of it as it is the creator part. And it sounds like Jimmy Fallon has got something going on, that he's going to be involved in it, but not have to be on it. I'm kind of surprised that Savannah Guthrie is the host.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's sexist. Maybe I think that hosts are boys.
Meredith Vieira hosted Who Wants to Be a Millionaire for a while.
She sure did.
The thing that I wondered...
That's a good question. I don't mean to be, that way, but I wonder if that will be well received, that she would be the one and only, and she'll be in charge and saying welcome to Wordle and all that.
What I wondered is, you see, now, and you were absolutely right about Jimmy Kimmel having hosted Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I wondered about her credibility as a journalist. And not necessarily, like, would you see the male equivalent? Would you see Charlie Gibson hosting a game show?
No.
Or would you see maybe Carson Daly? I don't watch the Today Show, but I know who's on it. Yeah. And I can see him hosting a game show, but doesn't he kind of do the entertainment stuff?
Yeah, he's the entertainment, the gossip guy.
But Al Roker, I mean, I could see him. He doesn't really do news though either.
But I would, and this may be a bad thing to say, out loud, but maybe she doesn't have that news person credibility anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe the people that do those, history of the corn dog things on morning news, what's the guy's name with the other guy? The guy that's with her?
Craig Melvin?
Yeah, Craig. Yeah. So maybe it's all infotainment. And the move from infotainment to entertainment is not the same as David Muir doing, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
And that's why I was thinking of Charlie Gibson, I guess, because I know he did World News Tonight, right? Didn't he?
And that's what David Muir does, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I was thinking of Charlie Gibson, I guess, back when he was a host on a morning show on Good Morning America as more of a parallel. Because certainly Savannah Guthrie has done serious news stuff. Yeah,
right? but those things, morning shows have changed, I think, over time.
You think?
You go all the way back to Charles Gibson. He was for real. He was a real David Hartman. You go to way, way back.
He was an actor, right? Who came to that not from news, but from entertainment.
I think Charlie Gibson was always
he was a news guy.
Yeah. So he had the credibility, but I don't know. There's a part of me, I just wonder how long that's going to last. Not as a show. The show may go forever, but probably it will be tried as a summer replacement.
Yeah.
For something, and they'll give it a go, and maybe it'll go great.
We do know there are only so many 5-letter words. There are a lot more 5-letter words than you would think there are, but it is a finite amount. So it'll probably have to be something other than just the Wordle. I mean, it would have to be more than one a show.
Quick little puzzle. Don't look it up. It'd be fun if you just think about it, think hard, figure it out. I didn't look it up. I actually saw it, thought of it, noticed it, and thought, that's a good question. English word that's 7 letters long, has only 2 consonants, and has all 5 vowels. A, E, I, O, and U. Not in that order. A, E, I, O, and U. And only 2 other letters. What is that English word? Don't look it up.
I won't. I know that I've heard this. I know that I've learned this, but I don't remember. I'd have to work on it for a while.
I mean, I gave it to you, right? Because I've never heard that anywhere.
You probably were. Okay,
so while you're thinking about it, just don't miss the forest for the trees.
From Wordle to a reading recession. Did you know that the U.S. is experiencing a reading recession?
You're saying reading, you mean just fewer people are reading?
No, our kids are having a harder time reading.
That's because they're watching TV all the time.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. State test scores from 3rd to 8th grade for more than 5,000 school districts in 38 states were tested. It found that only 5 states plus the District of Columbia had meaningful growth in reading test scores from 2022 to 2025. Only 5 states plus the District of Columbia had meaningful growth in reading test scores from 2022 to 2025. Nationally, students remain nearly a half a grade level behind pre-pandemic reading scores. But the thing is, people blame this, or we kind of want to blame it on the pandemic and the things that we heard about during the pandemic about reasons to get kids back in school because they were losing so much ground by doing, remote school, and we've got to get them back in the classroom. And it's not to say that wasn't a problem. In schools have focused on catching kids up since the pandemic changed education as we knew it for that period of time. But reading test scores have been falling since 2013, way before the pandemic for 8th graders, and 2015 for 4th graders. So think about it just for a second. What happened in 2013 and 2015 right in that area?
Social media went crazy. Social media. All the kids got the smartphones. Everybody started doing the maybe dumber stuff.
And that is one of the things that researchers point to. However, there's still a lot of debate about what the reading recession's causes are. Some of it, they do say that the rise of social media on smartphones definitely corresponds with the decline in kids' recreational reading too and reading scores, but also states have kind of backed off on strict consequences for schools whose students fail to make progress on standardized tests. So maybe we don't have to work so hard to make sure that they're working at grade level if we as school systems are not going to be penalized for their poor performance.
Well, I mean, we moved to the, participation trophy. We don't want anybody to feel bad. We don't want any school to feel bad.
Yeah.
We want the schools that go from an F to a D get a lot of attention. But, if the A slipped to a B or the B slipped to a C or even a D, we don't want anybody to feel bad. It's like, come on. Feeling bad is part of progress. I don't know. Being motivated by something. You don't just get to sit around and everybody eats chocolate cake for breakfast. You gotta live in the real world.
Do you remember the debate too about? I don't know if how much attention you paid to this when your kids were in school, but I remember I had 3 kids, 3 years apart. So one, and then 3 years later another one, and then 3 years after that. Nice. And the way that they all learned to read was different for each of them because of and they were all in the same school. But things changed. One year, phonics was it. And then another year, it was whole language. We're teaching them to read based on what each word looks like. We're not breaking things down by sound anymore. We're teaching them more, based on learning word by word.
So we're not saying sound it out.
Right.
In those days. I like the sound it out days.
Well, it is. Well, I'm sure there's good reason for that. The states that did improve their reading scores, mostly Louisiana, Maryland, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana, all had one thing in common.
Yeah.
They all ordered the schools to teach with a phonics-based approach. Now they're calling it the science. This particular one is called the science of reading, but it is a phonics-based approach.
It's to sound it out. What are the letters of the st? Oh, that's an ST. What are the letters of the ch? Oh, that's a CH.
Yeah.
Oh, the letter fr. That's an FR. Those were great ways to learn. You put those things together. Ch, much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Easy.
If only a handful of states improved their reading scores and they did it by using a phonics-based approach, it seems kind of simple. I'm sure there's lots more that goes. I'm not a teacher. I don't know what goes into all of that, but that seems pretty simple. Yeah.
We know this from our real life world work that it is very important for children to be at or above the 3rd grade reading level by the time they are in 3rd grade.
Right.
Very important.
So many things. I remember learning that and really just being floored.
I mean, if you go to some of the things, children who do not read at the third grade level by third grade are more likely, I mean, by far, to be
addicted to some substance, find themselves in jail, drop out of school, be a high school dropout. Yeah. The list was lengthy.
The thing is, there is something about that one little window of time that scientists, social scientists, educational, experts,
reading experts
have decided this one thing. If you could, that you've seen these public service things of the nonprofits that talk about reading, third grade read. That's why reading at third grade level by third grade is crucial for the future. If you could only do one thing, and it is to make sure that a child is reading at third grade level by third grade, the benefits are enormous.
I have a personal question for you.
Uh-oh.
How often do you wash your pants?
Well, it depends. It depends on it depends on whether you're talking about jeans or whether you're talking about just pants.
Is it different for you for those two things?
Sometimes jeans, I don't wash them if they get dirty. Obviously, anything that gets dirty, I would wash. But I've heard, I've heard things like you don't wash your jeans, you freeze them. You're supposed to, which is real odd.
Them?
Yeah, you can look it up. You freeze your jeans. You don't wash because the fact
you mean
that they would
fold them up and stick them in the freezer?
Correct. And I don't know whether I don't really want to see them there next to the ice cream sandwiches and.
No,
you can look it up.
I'd have to get a special freezer just for just for the.
So anyway, you freeze. But no, I would say I don't know. Probably after every time that I wear them. I don't know. I mean, if it's a dress pant, a dress slack.
Yeah.
I went to a thing a couple of weekends ago. No, last weekend. And it was a sort of a fancy thing. I don't get to go to many fancy things. And I wore not just my normal, flip-flops. I had to put on socks and everything. And for that, I wore some more like slacks. It was more like golf pants, but it was a jacket event. Jacket and open collar and all that. Button down, collared shirt and all that. Because I put them on at the very last minute and then took them off at the very first minute.
Yeah.
After it was over, I haven't done anything to send them out anywhere or do anything to them since.
Yeah.
But I probably will.
That makes sense.
That's a long answer to a short question.
Well, so this started out a few weeks ago. I heard something about this. And what is the standard for how often we should wash? Or how often do men in particular wash their pants? And when I was doing a little bit of research on it, what I found is a whole lot of opinions on blue jeans specifically.
Yeah, sure.
Denim Atelier, Benjamin Talley-Smith. And can I just say, who knew there were denim ateliers?
I didn't know that. What is an atelier?
Well, somebody who's an expert in denim.
Okay, a denim atelier. Atelier means expert.
Let me see.
I may be an atelier on some stuff. That's cool. Put that on my social media profile, right next to my pronouns.
He's an expert on denim.
Okay.
He says that jeans should be washed as little as possible, if at all.
I've heard that.
And then another guy who's a laundry expert. Again, who knew? I could be a laundry expert.
You've done enough laundry to be an expert.
I've done way more than my 10,000 hours. I'm quite certain. Patrick Richardson said that jeans should be cleaned after 9 or 10 wearings. I never go that long. So there are all kinds of ideas on how often we should wash our denim. Some people wash and dry them after every wear. Some people hand wash them, and lay them flat to dry or hang them dry. But I never. Nowhere is it mentioned in here that people put them in the freezer, but I think that is a fascinating idea. So, who would be the I Ching of denim? Who would know more about denim than anybody else?
Either a Levi or a Strauss.
Former CEO of Levi's, Chip Berg.
There you go.
So he said something back in 2014 that was highly controversial.
Never wash them.
He said he washes them once a year. Now, it was more for environmental reasons than hygiene. He said he learned that an average pair of jeans consumes roughly 3,500 liters of water. That's after only 2 years of use washing jeans once a week. That's nearly half the total water consumption, or 1,600 liters, is the consumer just throwing the jeans in the washing machine. And he said that's equivalent to 6,700 glasses of drinking water.
I bet he drinks lots of Starbucks coffee.
I bet he drinks lots, and you'd have to
38 gallons for every single cup. When you talk about the beans and the growing and the washing and the cleaning and the rinsing and all that, and sip your little espresso there on the left coast.
That's exactly
Mr. Former jeans man.
That's exactly right. But take all of that out of it and just consider the needs of your denim. He says true denim heads, people that really love their denim, will tell you never to put it in the washing machine. And he said that's what he does. He says if he drops a little food on the jeans, he'll clean it, but he will spot clean it.
Interesting.
He said if they get really, really gross, like if he's been out sweating in them or something like that, he'll wash them in the shower on his body. So get in the shower, rub them down with soap, and then I guess you take them off. I don't know if you have to let them dry on your body too. That seems incredibly uncomfortable. Well, I don't think I appreciate no article of clothing to me is that precious, and certainly not my blue jeans.
But the thing is, it's really two things. One is I don't want to spend too much soap, and so I'm going to bathe myself, but also my clothes while I'm bathing myself. Now, I have done that when I've been in foreign countries where there's no way to clean anything. I've taken a shower in my clothes and soaped down the clothes, rinsed out the clothes, but that has nothing to do with the environment at all.
Right.
But so really one is it about the jeans, how to preserve the jeans, how to make sure the jeans will last longer and blah, blah, blah? Or is it an eco thing? If it's an eco thing, that's a whole different conversation. Sometimes I'll buy jeans. When you first wash a pair of jeans and when you dry a pair of jeans, if you dry them or if you hang them to dry even, they fit a little different that first time than they would fit the second time or the third time or the fourth time. They're a little looser. Jeans are made like that. They get looser as you wear them more.
Throughout the day sometimes.
Even in the day, for sure. So anyway, but I've heard, maybe we're done with this. We'll look up for fun. Freezing your jeans.
Okay.
Not Genes.
Well, that could be confusing.
Your Jeans. Freezing your jeans. That's you clean the jeans, the blue jeans, by freezing them. That's what I've heard. I've never done that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find out about that. Okay. I don't think I would do that either.
Oh, no.
Okay. I have two dental-related things for you. The first one is a little dental bad news.
Okay.
You do still have to floss your teeth.
I've heard that.
How often do you floss your teeth? I think I may have asked you that before on this podcast, actually.
I'll refer you to my previous answer.
Okay. Even if you are flossing your teeth, you might be doing it wrong.
Of course.
Jack, you're doing it wrong.
That's right, Jack.
North to drop off, south to pick up.
There you go.
Tell me what movie that's from.
I don't know. I can't think.
Mr. Mom. Great movie. So you should be brushing your teeth twice a day.
Okay.
And flossing your teeth. I'm not going to say if you're flossing your teeth. I'm going to assume you're flossing your teeth.
Of course we are.
And you should be doing that before you brush your teeth.
Really?
Okay. You don't, because that kind of, the whole point of brushing your teeth is to get the toothbrush and the toothpaste in between your teeth.
That's right.
And if there are food particles or if there's plaque that you're loosening with the, you didn't expect to get this much information from me today, did you? You loosen the plaque with the floss and then you brush away the, you brush it away when you brush your teeth. But I did not remember this. So a lot of people don't floss their teeth because they found out back in 2016, it was exposed that a lot of the guidelines for flossing teeth were paid for by the floss, by Big Floss.
I am shocked. Shocked.
And dentists say that in spite of that, you do still need to be flossing your teeth. So, finally, my last little piece of dental news. If you find yourself in San Francisco and you need to go to the dentist, let me recommend 450 Aesthetics Dental Group in San Francisco.
Got it.
Yes. One of the things that you can book for your treatment at this particular dental practice is a 7-year-old French bulldog who will lay on your chest and comfort you while you have your work done. There are other things on this comfort menu too: a weighted blanket, an eye mask, augmented reality movie glasses.
I'll do that.
And the option to have Xylo sit in your lap during the visit. Although, I mean, they say sit in your lap. the picture that I saw, you lean back. She might not be able to be too close to the work, but it looked like she was laying on the chest of this patient. I think it sounds lovely.
Only in the left coast.
The owner, I don't know. I think this is something you might see here.
Really,
the owners
everywhere.
Of the practice, the owners of
in Texas, and we'll have Alpo, a full-grown German Shepherd, who will sit on your shoulders.
I don't know how comforting a full-grown German Shepherd would be, but the owners of the practice said they just want dentistry to feel less clinical.
So let me get this straight. Everybody has to wear gloves and masks and all this, but there's a dog drooling on your chest.
You're raining on my parade.
Well,
here.
I'm trying to help you out.
I'm sure they're quite hygienic. I'm sure they're going to great lengths to make sure that there's that the French bulldogs are very clean too. I do know some French bulldogs that are not necessarily that clean, but I'd let her lay on my chest during a dental visit.
Yeah. I have a problem with a dentist that will let a dog sit within 2 feet of sterile tools.
I don't know. Looks pretty cute. Looks pretty fun. Looks pretty comforting.
That is the Wilder Show podcast. Like, rate, follow, subscribe, share, please. If you haven't already, do it now. Work on that little word problem. If you come up with the answer, just either on the platform, wherever you find us, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, Amazon, YouTube, or to send us the email to podcast@wildershow.com. It's an English word with 7 letters. Only 2 are consonants, and 5 are each of the vowels, A, E, I, O, and U, not in that order. Don't look it up. See who can figure that out. We're also on the TikTok now and again. So remember, wherever you get your podcast, like, rate, follow, subscribe, share. We really do appreciate your engagement. Any thoughts at all you want to share, we really do like it. So thank you for your comments, whether you make it on the platforms where you find us or whether you send us a note at podcast@wildershow.com. And Lauren, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Da 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 da.